What is going on, people? We are back with another one. Before the whole video and we get all into it, this video is actually I don't know if I'd say pretty upsetting or pretty, I don't know, just I don't know if I'm more angry than anything, but yeah. So let me explain to you what happened. So, if you guys watch my other videos, you know that I recently bought my first K van, and this is my first K vehicle. So, knowing that these things are slow, I figured, hey, listen, it's going to be slow. The acceleration is not going to really be there, and it is what it is, but it's fun, right? And it's fun doing it. Now, the only issue is that when I was test fitting wheels for it, because I did end up getting wheels. You'll see that in another video I did, but it's just, it's been this whole week has just been terrible. But after test fitting the wheels and whatnot, and then going for a ride, I realized, you know what, this is pretty slow. Whatever, it is what it is. Then my friend with his Honda Acti, which is, if you don't know, is the little pickup truck version of mine, he came here and we actually test fit the wheels on his. However, before we did that, I went for a test ride in his, drove his, and the speed between, like, the difference between his and mine and the acceleration were night and day, which kind of got me worried because I'm like, hey, why is mine so slow? But then again, his is a pickup truck and mine's a van, so I figured, you know what, that kind of makes sense. And so now we're kind of there, right? So that being said, hold on. That being said, I was like, okay, you know what? I guess this is kind of just what it is. Then he went for a ride for it, and he's like, hey, something's not right here. So let me show you what's going on. Okay, first off, don't even mind the engine looking like it was used for the Santa Maria over here. This is how Christopher Columbus came over. They used this engine on that thing, so on the Mayflower. But listen, anyhow, here's my problem. So we actually did a power balance test, right? So we had the engine running, and just to see, obviously, if there's any issues with the engine, first off, what's the thing you do? You check for cylinders, right? So we had the engine running, and while it was running, you would pull the spark plug, right? Pull the spark plug wire, pull it, and if anything changes in the idle or anything like that, and just the noise of the engine in general, then you know that that thing is good to go. So we pull this one, and it would make a weird noise. The engine idle would change, so then we push it back in, and back to normal. Second one, pull it out, same exact thing, and then put it back in, back to normal, pop, 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 pop. And then, last but not least, this bad boy right here. Pull this thing out, right? And believe it or not, nothing changed. So now, it's either, these are issues it could have had. Cylinder, distributor, just the wires itself. And so to be able to figure out, first we changed the spark plugs, right? You got to start cheap. So we changed the spark plugs, nothing. And then now it's going to be the cables next. And before any of that, I actually ended up doing a compression test, and it was like 165 across all three cylinders. And that is probably the best news of the week. But believe it or not, this thing was misfiring. That's why it was running so slow, and that's why the acceleration was so bad on this thing. And the idle was actually turned up, so that way the car doesn't die out. But we're just gonna get wires, and then hopefully they'll be able to fix it, and we can actually ride around. Okay, so the reason why it pisses me off so much that the idle, like I said, the idle was turned up. Now, why that pisses me off so much is because the idle was turned up so that the car doesn't die out. And obviously that's kind of like a cover up, at least on my end, that's what I think it is. And I bought it from a dealership. So I figured, like, hey, listen, since it's a dealership, you know, like, they're gonna have to do an inspection, make sure everything is good to go. But apparently not. So now we're here trying to fix a problem that we didn't want. But I mean, the car starts, runs, drives, even in the condition that it's in. But we're going to go to O'Reilly's, bring the old spark plug wire, and then see if they can match it. And then if they can, then we'll replace it real quick. I did actually end up ordering a whole kit from online for the Every that comes with, like, the distributor cap, the rotor, and the spark plug wires. And then until that comes in, maybe O'Reilly's could replace it, and hopefully it'll fix our problem, and then we could be on our way, right? Okay, so we got the spark plug wires out, right? This one is actually the third one that was all the way on the right. Okay, check this thing out. No ice, no ice. Then we have this one, which was our problem child here. The grommet, I don't know, I already checked, but I mean, it's already got a tear in and whatnot. Jeez. And if you look closely, all right, the one on the left is the one that was in the first cylinder, and this one's on third. Listen, I don't know if that's the correct number of the cylinders just because I don't know how they're numbered. However, that's what we're going to call them, 1 to 3. And the first one actually looks a lot wider and different than the third one. So I don't know what that's all about. So we're going to go to O'Reilly's and see if they can match them. So Come on, O'Reilly. Come on, my man, O'Reilly. All right, let's go. So apparently the people at O'Reilly's really don't understand how spark plug wires work and or AutoZone. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna order them and then wait for them to come. I already ordered them. It's probably gonna take at least a week or two. It's from some guy in California who orders them from Japan. So gonna wait for that. So I guess like when I redo this part of the video, it's gonna be 1 week later. Hold on. Believe it or not, we were actually able to fix the issue. I know it doesn't fit, so before you get into whole, oh my God, it's not fitting. Yes, I understand it does not fit. However, it does make the connection that we need, and this is actually off of a Suzuki Sidekick. Yeah, 93 Suzuki Sidekick. It makes a connection to the distributor. Look at how hard of an angle that is. Why? Anyway, this thing fits in there just enough to make the connection, and now there's no more misfires, and the engine runs as good as it should. So it's actually running on all 3 cylinders finally, and after driving it this way instead of running on 2 cylinders, let me tell you, I might be in love again with this vehicle. Look at this, just pretty, like, the only reason why I don't drive it like this is because I don't want to cause any damage, just because, like you can see right here, it doesn't make a seal. Jesus. It doesn't make a seal, and obviously this thing, compared to the cars that we have here in the US, we have like plastic covers and whatnot for the engine. However, we don't have that in this vehicle. So if I drive around like this, you could already tell there's some dirt on it just because I went for one little test ride, and I don't want any dirt getting in there. Don't want to take any chances. But since that's good to go, we can actually return that wire because it came as a set, and obviously it's a waste of money. I ordered a new set. It's going to come from Japan, and now it's good to go. So shout out to Will Powered, okay? If you go online, put the link in the description in the little thing downstairs. But shout out to Will, because I literally ordered this on Thursday, and he's in California, I'm in Connecticut, so we're on opposite sides of the country, and I had it at my front door on Monday. So shout out to him for the quickest shipping I've ever seen. And look at this. So we got the cables, all right? Got the cables, got the distributor cap, got the rotor, and spark plugs for a steal. Literally, my man gave all this for $125. So shout out to you again, Will Powered. And he used Walmart bags instead of what's it called, those peanut packing. So shout out to him, because now we got bags at home that we can use. So nice. But let's throw it on. All right, all the cables are in there. The only issue I had is that the cable that actually goes from the distributor to the engine, right, the main piece, is this one's way too long, because I'm assuming these are out of the Suzuki Carry, which is the pickup truck version, and I'm sure it's a little bit different. Obviously, this is the van. But aside from that, thing runs like a champ, dude. All 3 cylinders, we got 900 horsepower. Okay, so I know it's just great to have videos with the happy ending, so this one's a pretty good ending. Now that we fixed the issue, the only reason why I bought that set was to actually just make sure and kind of verify that it was a spark plug wire and nothing else. And now that I know that it was just a wire, trust me, I couldn't be any happier, because if we did, I didn't want to be sold a lemon, and I know that's a big issue, especially at like dealerships and whatnot. You get sold as is. That's how I bought this car. It was as is. But listen, I'm happy. We fixed it. Now we just got to wait for the new wire to come in. And once the new wire comes in, then we'll throw it on, and then we can seal everything. I just got to clean up the engine because you saw it. It looks terrible. And just happy overall. And now if we can just get wheels that fit this goddamn van, I'll be the happiest man alive. And oh, one more thing before I go. This thing finally has the M3 bumper on it. Look at how nice this bumper looks. Oh my. Listen, shout out to my boy from New York who was parting out his M3, and it was all hell rot, so I didn't have to get it painted. The only thing that bothers me is this thing, but aside from that, it looks pretty dang good. Okay, so that's the end of that, and I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Learn from my mistakes, so make sure you guys check those cables. Make sure no matter who you're buying from, make sure you go do a whole rundown of the car. I don't know why I didn't. I was stupid at the time, but I guess I learned from my mistakes. You learn from my mistakes. And an easy fix could have just literally, you know, would have made me a happy customer over at their dealership, but it is what it is. So thank you, I guess. And like I said, happy endings are where we're at. So make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff. And see you on the next one.